Darren Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey there, Meteorologist Darren Tuttle with you here on a Saturday night. I know it's it's a good time. It's a good time. So we're going to talk about the weather here for tonight and get you acclimated on the latest on the model data. So thanks for joining me. Make sure you like and share this video with all your friends and family out there so they can learn about AT's weather. We're doing it simulcasted here on Facebook, on both Facebook pages, the group page and the main page. We're also on Twitter, Periscope, and also on YouTube. So that's where we're at right now as far as this live broadcast goes. In the future, I'll be adding Gab, it looks like, as a live broadcast option, but that's a few months away, it looks like, probably the end of the first quarter. So maybe about March or April, that should be ready to rock and roll. Until then, I know a lot of you are looking for social media alternatives because if you haven't, crawled out from underneath your rock, a lot of change has happened the last 24 to 48 hours. Parler, which is what a lot of people went to earlier because they got sick of Twitter, they got shut down. So both on the app stores, Apple and Google Play, so you can't get their app anymore. You might be able to find it like a side load for an APK or something, or off label, I'm not sure though. And then their website anyway, it doesn't matter about the apps because their website's being taken down by Amazon. They're going to cut their servers tomorrow night. So it means Parler will not have Parler anymore. They won't have anything. They don't have their own servers. So they're susceptible to the social media censorship. So therefore, if you've got an account there and you're following me there for weather, it's not going to work anymore. I warned about that in my blog, and I warned about it over the weekend, and got some flack from that, but hey, it is what it is. So now you can get an account created at Gab, which is gab.com. They have their own server, so they're not dependent upon a cloud server to produce their social media landscape for you to utilize, if you'd like to. Again, this is only if you want to get off of Twitter or Facebook or something like that. That's another alternative, because not everybody wants to. Right? Most people are probably happy where they're at, but just for those that want to move on, you can try Gab. I'm on there, and I'll be doing weather on there as well. And it's going to be slow. They've had tens of millions of people sign up today, which, as you know, like when I get my website hit on the server, because I use Amazon servers, it can take down my site, and it's just via too many people at once. Then the server's configured to handle, and mine wasn't, so I had to beef it up a little bit. So it should be good on my blog posts. But right now they're kind of Gab with their own servers is having to add more today to keep up with demand, but that's expected. So that's the latest on the social media landscape. If you want to change platforms or just add another one, because you never know. Honestly, between the next few days, there's going to be a lot going on. That's all I can tell you. And some of these platforms may not be here in a week. Some of them may just be turned off. I don't know what's going to happen. It's nuts. But regardless, there you go. So with that said, you came to the right place for weather information. So let's get on to it. Got a big snowstorm coming, moving out of New Mexico and into Texas. As we go through time, we're going to look at the upper levels of the atmosphere. I'm going to show you the center track of the upper level low, and it's coming in across western Texas. So once again, a big snow for parts of western Texas, and even now into central and northern Texas, as this low moves pretty much from there to right across Dallas-Fort Worth and back up here to Texarkana. So it'll take a track like this. Now what you can see is all the bright colors around it indicate lift in the atmosphere. So that's what squeezes out all that moisture in the form of clouds and rain and or snow in this case. So a lot of that lift moves through Dallas-Fort Worth. You can see some of it does skirt here across Oklahoma. So we will be seeing just a little light snow across Oklahoma. Not much, at most probably a dusting for a few. We'll get to that here in a second as to who's going to see how much. That move into Arkansas by Monday morning into Monday afternoon. So Arkansas will also get a little bit of snow from this. When we look at the vertical velocities atmosphere, the mid-level lift, again, the brighter the colors, the more lift. So there's some here for sunny night in central and western Oklahoma. So expect some very light snow overnight tonight into our Sunday morning. But the bigger, stronger lift is down across into Texas. So there's some good-sized lift down here in southern Oklahoma. So you guys will be seeing some snow down there as we head into our Sunday morning. More lift continues from Dallas-Fort Worth all the way down to the Houston area. As we head into Sunday afternoon, on into Sunday evening, you still see some more lift here in central, southern Oklahoma and northern Texas. So that means a little bit of light snow in that vicinity. This is the wrap around the backside of the upper level low. And that's again Sunday night. And then by Monday morning, it is now pushed off into Arkansas with a little bit of light snow for those folks. So that is the overall pattern and the storm track and how things will look. So from there, let's take a look downstairs. And let's see, did I have this queued up? I did. But let me go with the high res first. Now, the HRR did pretty good with our snowstorm that we had here a while back. They have a new printer they've turned on, which I need to find out where that's at. Let's see here. Is that what I want? I don't want the Northeast Texas, do I? Yes, I do. Okay. That is the one I wanted. All right, so let's take a look here. On the right time, the right model, and the snow. Okay, so just on the 10-to-1 ratio, just so you can see how things evolve. This is how the snow kind of piles up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this is a little high. I think these amounts are a little high in the deeper purples. But let me take a look, see if this version of the same. Yeah, this one makes a little more sense to me. Okay, so there will be pockets here. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of snow intermixed just south and west of Dallas-Fort Worth. Looks like where the heaviest stuff is going to be. And then here in Dallas-Fort Worth itself, now here's the million-dollar question. Yes, you're getting snow. No doubt about it. The question is how much? Once you get north and east of town, so north and east of Plano, it starts to drop off really quick to a dusting. All right, so dusting is just enough to kind of coat the ground, right? Once you get into Dallas proper and Rockwall, 1 to 2 inches is still possible here within this area. Now some of it will melt because remember it's gonna be a wet snow about 34 degrees probably. So that's a melting snow. So if it comes down heavy enough, over a period of time, it'll accumulate a little bit. And then more, of course, heavier snow out west of Tarrant County and southwest toward Cleveland and Weatherford in general when we're talking about the models. And this is just the high resolution HER model, which has had some tweaks to it to make it do a little bit better with snowfall forecasts. So we're going to see how that goes. Now, timing-wise, for them down here in Dallas, and looks like by 9 o'clock in the morning, should be knocking on your door. Snows all day long. You can see there in northern Texas into southern Oklahoma. Got that light snow moving through. Matter of fact, if I scoot this down a little bit, let me go back in time. So here's 1 o'clock, so lunchtime. And the reason why I do this lunchtime, down here in College Station, home of my fighting Texas Aggies, Orange Bowl winners. So they're going to get a little snow down there, a little rain and snow mix down into Aggie land. So that snow does move into eastern Texas as well. There's 3 o'clock, by the way. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you do see the model struggles with rain still in the picture with snow. Now, the reason for that, I'm going to show you the sounding here real quick. And this is why Dallas is kind of a tough call. The snow is cold. I mean, in other words, the atmosphere is cold enough for snow. No doubt about it. Here's the dashed blue line. Everything's left of it. So you're good, right? All snow is being generated. But here's the kicker. Right down here at the bottom, you see that's 37 degrees with a temperature dew point of 36. If this is a little too deep, that turns into a lot of raindrops and just a little bit of wet snow mixed in the raindrops, and that can really hose you when it comes to snowfall totals. So that is definitely the table as an outcome. That stinks, but that's especially on the east and northeast side of town versus the west side of town. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So you can see the model struggles with that fine line even through the evening hours with your last wraparound round. Now, I do believe this last wraparound will be more snow than it will be rain, just because of the dynamics that typically happen in the upper level low on the backside. So I think you'll be okay getting more snow in the evening hours versus maybe more of a rain snow mix parts of the day. But that's a long window. We're at 2 o'clock in the morning. The snow finally wraps up. So that's why I'm leery at that particular model and the snowfall amounts down there, and I'll show you why. And we're also going to look here at snowfall totals for Oklahoma. We'll do this model first, and then we're going to look at the rest of them and see how they go. So let me go back up to here, and let's do this here. And so this particular model has got, looks like a dusting of snow just west of Enid, all the way out toward Woodward, down toward Elk City, so pretty much all of western third of Oklahoma. So you draw a line in the sand all the way from Lawton north and south, then you get snow. You do have a little light dusting of snow here in Oklahoma City, and then you've got a little bit more substantial snow down here in southern Oklahoma, and again, which is just off the map here, out in far southeast Oklahoma and Arkansas. So down here around Atoka, you guys probably get a little bit of a dusting, or more. You may end up getting like 2 inches of snow out of this whole deal. Down along the Red River counties are the better areas to see snow. Okay, so let's move on now. If we were to take a look at all the models, and we'll just flip through them real quick. This is from the morning run, just to give you an idea of the take-home as to where the track is. So this is the Canadian, and notice these amounts you see on the screen. They're all pretty significant, but look also, this is Rockwall right here. It's a little tiny square, and this is Dallas County where it says 2.3. There's a big gradient, you know, the model data, pretty much in all these models, once you get north and east of Dallas. So, oh, it's going to be so close. I do, again, remember, you're going to get snow there. It's just the amount is the question. Let's see, we'll skip the NAM. It usually stinks at snow. Some of its CAM models, though, are much more tamed down and much better look to it. Let's see here. There's another one, and there's another one. There's a new American model. Looks pretty good. The old American model, there's the Canadian long-term and the European high-res. Now, this is the scary part about the European high-res. This is the morning run. It wasn't too impressive. I did look at the midday run, and I believe it's this panel here. The midday run, so here's Dallas and here's Fort Worth. The midday run has brought the European snow a little higher inland, but still, I mean, it's paltry. I mean, this is terrible. So I don't necessarily buy these ridiculously light amounts here because of the duration of the snow event, unless it's just all rain, guys, and you're right there on that the profile of the rain and snow mix, and honestly it can go either way. And I'd love to tell you one way or the other, and I can tell you south and west of town, or on the south and west side of town, no problem. On the north and east side of town, there's going to be rain and mixed in there. But beyond that, today, the day of, yeah, way more specific. But right now, that's the best we can do. Okay, so if you do look at the Europeans' ensemble picture, in other words, they take all of its runs, different runs, and puts them together, you get that bullseye of the heavier snow out here in the western Texas, 6 to 7 inches. Again, the dusting of snow here in western, central, southern Oklahoma, and you still get that big trail off, though, across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And again, Dallas, all the way down to snow down at Bryan College Station. Now, it does like some significant snow down there, which is odd. I guess that could happen, but there'll still be some more raindrop issues in this area, too, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so let me go to, I'm going to show you the real latest on that before we get into that other stuff. So let me do 0Z, and we'll see if anything's changed in the latest 0Z data. 0Z meaning 7 p.m. here Central Time. All right, so there is the Canadian model that came out. It looks a lot like the European with a big drop off here on the northern east side of Dallas-Fort Worth, which tells me a little bit more rain drops are expected in this area, but it doesn't have the snow up north, so it's a mixed bag. Let's see, so we've got the high resolution NAM. It's not a bad deal. 1 to 2 inches here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I like that better than the drought pick look there. Let's see, there's a Nestle, it's a CAM model, there's a CAM model, there's a new CAM model, there you go. Same look to all of those. That's the scary part. Man, guys, I do not want this to blow up on you, but I just don't like this inverted V, or this V look here where the atmosphere tries to dry it up. Now, don't get too crazy, disappointed because this isn't set in stone. So I still like a blend of lighter snow moving into the metro. So that's the deal there. And as you notice in Oklahoma, none of these models really have any drastic changes for us. Again, dusting of snow in the west, southwest along the Red River, and the far southeastern tip of the state and southern Arkansas. So nothing has changed with that look. When we look at the Weather Service, they kind of did what I mentioned they would do, which is bring the light snow in something like this. And I told you they probably might even add a little dusting here. They didn't, but they mined it up for tomorrow. Fort Worth, there's their breakdown. Winter storm warning in that area where the heavier snow is expected, but just a winter weather advisory for the Dallas-Fort Worth area for on Sunday. Now their timing, like we mentioned, is really 9 o'clock in the morning when it comes in the Metroplex from the west. Then once it moves east of there toward Greenville, Canton, Palestine, Centerville, then it's after about lunchtime. Their snow amounts will be a lot lighter. They're going to go conservative, so they're going to go less than an inch. They're going to go with that dry look in the model data over Dallas County itself and points north and east, whereas they're going to go a little heavier once you get into Tarrant County, then south from there. That's not a terrible idea. It's just very, very conservative. Now, also keep in mind, though, some of that snow that falls will melt. So it'll be difficult to measure what really fell versus, what's going to be left on the ground. Now, they did give you the alternate look, which is a worst-case scenario in a heavy snow band, and they had a couple of inches here in Dallas and Rockwall, and for Tarrant County and Waxahachie and et cetera. So that was their look. Now, does the latest models jive with that? Here's the high-resolution SREF model, and it's got an average of about 4 inches of snow here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's got a few runs, though, a lot less than that, of course, and it's got several runs a lot more than that, but 4 inches is a good average. I like on the ensemble when they come up with a higher average. This is the American model GFS average, and it's up around, 2.5 to 3 inches of snow. Again, I like that look. I like that part of the data potential. When we look at some of the other ensemble members from various other different models that we have, this is all experimental stuff, so it's cool because I get to use it and see how well it does. It's not as bullish. It's got about 2 inches. Black line here represents about 2 inches here in the middle of Dallas-Fort Worth, and it's got some amounts up to around 5-6 inches. So it does kind of, it's got two ways it's going to go, in the data. It's either low end because of all the raindrops mixed in, or it's going to keep it all snow and it's going to dump on you, 4 or 5 inches. That's the way the models have that look to it. Okay, so when we talk about temperatures here in Oklahoma City, by the way, of course, it was cold yesterday and today and tomorrow, even colder, just by a few degrees. We'll be in the 20s at night the next several nights. Daytime highs tomorrow likely be in the 30s for most of us for most of the day. And then we're getting to the mid to upper 40s and then eventually the 50s by the middle of next week. And we're going to get some other cold fronts kind of be coming in and out. And so we're going to have a little bit of a roller coaster ride for January that'll set up. Let me think if there's anything else I want to tell you or show you. What else may have come in? Let me do this real quick. Now let's go here. And then we're going to go here. So let's do the timing for Oklahoma. All right, so for our timing, there's your snow moving in at 1 o'clock in the morning out here in western Oklahoma. As we head into 5 and 6 a.m., you can see it stretching eastward here in central Oklahoma. Now I'm going to pick a spot here in Oklahoma City for the forecast sounding. I'm going to show you what our problem is. See this spot right here in between the green and red line? This is the dew point and the temperature. You see that spread? It's pretty significant. You know what that means? There's a lot of dry air here in the mid-levels. So in other words, a lot of this snow that is forming is very light because there's no big lift here in the snow growth layer, which is right here in yellow. So there's flurries activity. A lot of that will be evaporating. So it's not a big deal for us in the middle part of the morning as this thing moves in. Now, eventually, it'll kind of help saturate the atmosphere a little bit better for later on. So here's 10 o'clock. There's 11. So you can see that snow moving through southwest Oklahoma. So Lawton, Wichita Falls, down around Ardmore, you should be getting about lunchtime. Now, here's where some of those flurries, or leave a light dusting of snow moves in Oklahoma City, just around lunchtime. So here you can see the profile of the atmosphere is much more saturated up and down. So that means better opportunity for that snow not to evaporate. Temperature in the dew point 29 and 34, so it would be a snow that occurs right around 32 degrees or at the surface. Moderate lift here in the loft, nothing too crazy or heavy, just enough to kind of get a little light dusting going. I'd like to have a little bit more, but yeah, I'd take what you can get. So we head into the 1 o'clock hour on into 2 o'clock. The central Oklahoma snow kind of diminishes. So does the southern Oklahoma round. More of it tries to sneak in there into southeast Oklahoma if their profile can stay cold enough. Few flurries here in southern Oklahoma during this whole period into the late afternoon and early evening. So we headed to 10 o'clock, maybe one little last burst of snow here for central Oklahoma down south along the Red River as the wraparound of that upper level low moves on by. There's midnight, still a little bit of light snow down there in Sherman, Dallas, and Paris, and now pushing near McAllister, probably just along McAllister Point south and east from there. And this is where southeast Oklahoma finally gets some snow. Is going to be Sunday night after midnight. From that point up to about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning as that snow moves out. So there you go. How about that? As we mentioned earlier, we already showed you the amount, so don't expect a whole lot. And now I think that was it. All right. Well, listen, let me check some of your comments here real quick. I'm going to turn you loose. So I see you, Jim, on there from Mustang on YouTube. Kayla from Choctaw's checking in. Hey, Sandy. Nat says, Parlor said they will be up as soon as possible. Yeah, they won't. You have to understand, if you read my blog, when there's a collective effort that for the cloud hosting services to not host you, it's going to be hard to find a cloud hosting service that will, that requires the demand of servers that Parler would require. And that's why they said it would take over a week, and that's probably because they know they won't be able to find one. Even though they claim they're in talks with some, when political pressure happens, they may not get it. Now, might surprise me. They may be up. Somebody may do it or try it out for a little bit. I'm not sure. Meantime, they would have to actually build them from scratch. And that's what Gab has already done. So they're well into that point here. All right, so let me go to my patrons. Load up your guys' comments in the main weather page. By the way, as always, thanks for the stars. I've been looking down every now and then and see you guys are on. Some of you on 2-week streaks, 4-week streaks. You're incredible. I appreciate that. I did make a post. If you check below my Facebook page wall, if you do plan on leaving Facebook and you still want to support me in some fashion, there's a list of options you can look at. Okay, so on my patrons, why does snow always have to run away from us? Amy. Sorry to hear that. Paula was late. Jessica. She's calling out Martha saying you might finally get some snow. Mary says, man, I wanted some snow in Norman. We could probably still get some flurries and very light dusting at most. That's all I can promise you at this point. I can't promise you any more than that. Let's see. Let's go to the main page. Da-da-da. Where is my video? That is so strange. Hold on. Oh, I'm not on the right page. No wonder. Noob. I got too many pages. All right, let's go. Load the guys up here real quick. Now, remember, I can't read some of the comments that were made earlier in the broadcast, but I can read the most recent ones. So I'm going to do that here real quick. I'll just scan through them once Facebook loads them. All right. I go up as far as I can go. How much for Woodward? Tommy wants to know. At most, about an inch. That's about it. Let's see. Curious if there's any chance this will go further north than forecasted. For Lawton, you'll get a little light dusting in Lawton. Let's see. So tough to know winter storms. I know, Jared. Man, trust me. My heart goes out to DFW because I want you guys to get pounded with snow. And it still can happen. I mean, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back. I'm going to pull up a Dallas profile here in just a second, just because I'm curious. And I want to see how close it is on all the models. I just looked at the one. But I want to see just the others for confidence level. Because based off their output, it looks like the models have low confidence north and east side of town. Okay, you bet, Julie. I grew up in Dallas-Fort Worth, so that's my hometown. Let's see. We'll be getting tested. Holly, yeah, you report that flake, will you? Doug, yep. This one just. I mean, we're on the northern fringe of it, so it's just gonna kind of skirt us with some flurries and a light dusting. That's about it. You bet it, Ron. I don't sweat the crazies. Manuel, no snow for Tulsa this time around. You'll have to wait for the next chance. You're welcome, Clayton. Yeah, Lawton can sometimes have a rough go down there for meteorologists. That market, it turns over, as you guys know. It's a low pay market, it's a starter market. So anyone that goes there is a stepping stone to somewhere else. So it's a frustrating place to be as a viewer because it rapidly changes and you don't know who you're going to get. Sometimes you get somebody that actually is a real meteorologist, and sometimes you'll get one that likes to play one on TV. And it can go either way. Angela, yes, you can still get in the parlor. The parlor gets shut down tomorrow night by midnight. So you've got 24 hours there of freedom, and it's done. When's the next run after this? Holly, I did not look, but we have little signals that come by every few days. I think the next one, it originally was like around the 14th. I'll have to go back and look. How much for Elk City, Corey? Just about an inch. Let's see. Will Washington, Oklahoma get any snow? Well, let's hope so. You're welcome, Emmanuel. Sharon, appreciate you. You bet, Jared. Let's see. Flight early to Dallas canceled. Really? That seems pretty lame. That seems a little excessive. But I'm not the ones making those decisions, right? Okay, so real quick, let's show that other thing I want to tell you about, and then I'm going to cut you loose so you guys can enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, right? All right, so let's go down south to Tejas. Let's see, let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay. Let me just pick a sounding here. So I'm going to pick right on the west side of Dallas County. And then let's go back in time. So 24 hours from now will be the evening. Let's not go 24 hours. Let's go 18 hours. Let's go lunchtime. Is that about right? So that's right in the heart of it, the meat and potatoes. All right, so it's got a temperature of 36 degrees here on the Dallas-Tarrant County line. Okay. So it can snow, 36 degrees, not a problem. 32 is better, the best, obviously. 33 is good. 34 is pushing it. 35 and 36 are really pushing it. Just so you know that. And also the other issue is the depth of this air here. And it looks like it's pretty shallow. So hopefully it'll cool and get you down to about 33, 34. Okay. Regardless, that is the her. Let's go take a look here at the Canadian. Oh, 12Z. I don't want 12Z. Well, whatever. That was not the latest. Has a similar look, though. It says 35. Why did not come in? How about this one? Okay, that one's new. Let's go back to this one. All right, so this is the new American model, 36 degrees. But a very shallow layer. Okay, it's good to see. So let's see here. Now we'll go to the NAM high res. Try that out. 36 degrees, dew point of 33. And a very shallow, ooh, no, a little thicker layer. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, that's what I wanted. I wanted this one. I picked the wrong one. Okay, this is the high res Canadian. Ooh, a little dry slot action. At noontime, 34, so a little bit better temperature profile, just by a degree. But if I remember, they were a little bit more aggressive anyway with the snow output versus the others. Let me think. Anything else? We'll see if the wrap does. Oh, wrap has 40. That's ridiculous. You can get nothing but rain with that. Oh, that would really stink. You better hope the wrap's not right. That's an outlier. Oof. Well, what a Debbie Downer that would be. That's no good at all. Let me go old school European. 36. A little bit of a dry slot to match what the Canadian was saying. But also critical. Man, every single one of these. UK Met from this morning. 33. That's the best one. It's got an output of rain, but it would be snow with this deal. So every single one of these models in there in Dallas are just right there. So 1 degree can make all the difference in the world. North and east side of town where you're right at that level. South and west, a lot better off. Okay, somebody asked long term. Let me do a quick peek because I have not here recently. So let me just go with the European at this point. And let me go long term here for Oklahoma. We got little showers move through on the 15th. And there's some more on the 17th. All right, no big snowmaker signal on that. All right, that's not going to be in time. But we can do the noon version. All right, so let's go here. Any big events? We got some cold air intrusion there around the 15th. Comes on in. It's a big high. Cool us down quite a bit for a little bit. And then here's a developing storm system. That's the 17th. Models think it's going to be a little too warm for snow. Let's take a quick look at a sounding to see. Sounding says 41 degrees and too warm here at the lowest levels. So that would be a cold rain. Let's see. Boy, it wraps up though. Look, it tries to produce some snow on the backside for eastern Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas. So there's your one to watch. It's a signal. So we watch, see it, look at it blow up now. Now it's a big snowmaker. So we watch these signals and then we see, you know, how they do as we get closer to the event, because they'll shift around positions, they'll shift timing. But that's what we kind of look for. Now we head on to, let's see, there's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Another big Arctic high comes in. A little snow with that one, just to our north. Oh, it likes to produce some snow here on the 23rd over Oklahoma, a big area of the southern central plains. All right, so then that's later in January. That moves off. And just outside of reach, we got a nice high that's brought in cold air. And if you look out, and a matter of fact, the look to this high covers the entire country, except for the Rockies, because of course it can't penetrate through the Rockies. But that means this is a heck of a cold weather pattern for the end of January, for around the 25th of the month. Then you focus your attention down here. You see the areas of low pressure developing. That means there's a big, broad area of upper level, lower heights here developing. What that does is it overlays moisture from the Pacific, from the southwest, across the desert southwest of the country in Oklahoma, and we sometimes get ice storms out of that setup. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what's something I'd watch for over the coming days to see if that pattern unfolds. But it's just pattern recognition of what can happen in a setup like that. But so there you go. There's some examples of how we kind of watch those little storm systems and how they come. If, let's pick on this model. Let's just look at one model too, by the way. So of course this model would have to have a clue as to what's going to happen. But you can see for a while, see the purple? That's the brutally cold air. It starts to come in the country a little bit for the 15th. Most of it, though, stays into Canada, and then it kind of moves into the northeastern part of the country, so they get a really nasty cool down. Let's go through time here, and it's like reinforcing shots of that cold air just kind of keeps slowly sagging southward here in the Central Plains. Starting to get a lot more teens and 20s on there. So cold air just brutal across Canada. And let it stay up there, right? There's a little taste of it right here just east of us. Ooh, boy, that's on the 19th. So again, you don't want that purple stuff. Here's on the 21st. Oh, here comes the purple stuff. Oh boy, there's the purple stuff. Right, there's the 22nd. Ooh, there it is. 23rd. Single digit temperatures sneaking in here at the Panhandle and in northwest Oklahoma and Kansas. I mean, look at all this purple. I mean, that's just taking over the country. Oh, look at it sag further southward. Oh my goodness, we're in the end of the 24th. Now we're in minus numbers. Woo! Negative teens out here in Kansas and the Panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. We're at whopping 8 degrees here in Oklahoma City. Oh my goodness, boy, that's cold stuff. There's the 24th. It sticks around. There's the 25th, and that's where it ends. So at that point in time, this is what we look at, and we see a developing warm air advection profile right here in the wind field, and this is in response to the upper level low developing to the desert southwest. Saturated here in the upper levels of the atmosphere as we get that Pacific moisture to skirt across, and the mid level is dry for a while. And what we'd watch for is more of this moisture to work its way down over time as some of that energy kicks out, and it moistens up this atmosphere. And our wet bulb temperature here is got a little warm nose to it, right here around 800 millibars. and that's the nerve point, because we've got a warm air advection profile. And then we're way down cold, and with a dew point of 15. So that means with a temperature of 29, we would wet bulb out around 25 degrees. This would be a heck of an ice storm setup should this look occur and then go downhill from there. But we'll see. So don't run around going, Aaron's promising an ice storm by January 25th. Do you not know how far away that is? I'm just telling you that's how you can interpret the data that's there to look at today. So that's why when I see that stuff, I go, whoa, and then that's it. And then I go do other things, because odds are it'll change 10 times between now and then. And what point it would be for me to come on here every night and take a look at it and just do something different, right? So as we get closer, we see how the pattern looks, if it's going to lock in, and then our confidence goes up, and then we can tell you more details. So, but there you go. That's looking through most of January. So that's a good question, and I hope you enjoyed that really long-winded answer. So there you go. All right. Well, I believe that's going to be it for me. I think I'm going to get out of here and go do something relaxing. But you guys have a great Saturday night, great Sunday. Those of you folks that get a little bit of that snow, enjoy it, and especially down in Dallas. Hopefully, fingers crossed for you guys down there. You'll get something good, and then we'll see what the next thing happens. All right. Thanks for following me on AT's Weather, no matter what platform we all go to. And remember, I'm just going to do weather, so wherever you go, I've got to follow you. So, it's for those that are blame a platform for the problem. It's not the platform problem. It's the people on the platform, unfortunately. And so you have some people that just are going to be the way they are, and everybody's got their own set of morals or immorals that to whatever level. And what you think shouldn't go, others think should go, and that's the problem. You're never going to agree with any of that, and that's all over the place. You'll find it everywhere you look if you look for it. So my advice would be, no matter what platform you're on, don't look for the bad stuff. Just surround yourself with some good stuff, right? There's enough bad stuff in the world as it is. All right, well, I'm out. You guys have a great night. Get a good night's sleep as well. Sleep is important. See ya.